let's change gears and talk about course reversals. And we open up course reversals with an advisory. And that advisory is that VNAV does not work during a course reversal. And by that I mean procedure turns and holding patterns in lieu of a procedure turn. So here we are on a non-precision approach, and we're going to perform a course reversal at ACRAT. Since we can't use VNAV, we're going to use good old VS mode for that part of the descent. Here's how the procedure generally works. Instead of setting the selected altitude at the MDA like we normally do on a non-precision approach, we're going to set the course reversal altitude, which in this case is 3,700 feet. Then we will use VNAV for the descend down to the course reversal, and then we will use VS to descend to the selected altitude. Once we are level in the course reversal, we can now set the selected altitude to the MDA, and we will complete the descent on the approach using VNAV. So let's take a look at the approach. Here, air traffic control says to us, cross the Ventura VOR at 6,000, cleared for the VOR runway 25 approach into Oxnard. We'll enter 6,000 feet into the flight plan and use VNAV to cross Ventura at 6,000 and continue the VNAV descent to 4,600, the published altitude on the feeder route to ACRAT. Then we'll use VS to descend to 3,700 feet, the procedure turn altitude, and then we'll pick VNAV back up to descend to 2,900 feet at CAMET. So we're going to use FAV to set up the VNAV. So we were given a crossing restriction of 6,000 feet at Ventura, so I go to the flight plan, I enter 6,000 feet, I press enter, notice the numbers are large. That's because I entered it in manually. 6,000 feet in the profile. Time to the top of descent is about 30 seconds. I go to my altitude pre-select, and I'm going to set it to 3,700 feet. That is the procedure turn altitude. So altitude 3,700 set, and then the last thing I need to do is arm VNAV, and I call that out VPath armed. Now, as we jump ahead, I've just reached my top of descent. I'm vacating 8,000 feet. I've got VPath green, and the airplane starts its descent to make the restriction of crossing Ventura at 6,000 feet. We now jump ahead as the airplane makes the restriction at Ventura. I'm into my 4P process. I look at the plate. I've got a published altitude of 4,600 feet on the feeder route inbound to ACRAT. I go to the plan, ACRAT 4,600 feet. The active VNAV waypoint is 4,600 feet at ACRAT. And I have a time to the bottom of descent of about 2 minutes and 40 seconds. My PFD posted altitude is 4,600 feet. Now, as the aircraft arrives at ACRAT, we're going to use the 6 T's to manage the hold. So here we are, 4,600 feet. I keep an eye on my flight mode enunciators. I get altitude hold, so I power up to maintain my desired speed, and I start the T's. Turn, time, twist, throttle. For throttle, I'm going to actually go into vertical speed mode and set VS minus 700 feet per minute. Talk, nothing to say, and toggle. VS minus 700 feet, alt, select, VPath, and suspend is not applicable. Now, as we jump ahead to procedure turn inbound, I do the T's again. Turn, time, twist, throttle. Now here I'm in altitude hold mode. I'm going to power up to maintain my desired speed. And then I'm going to deal with the altitude now. Now I'm going to set my altitude to the MDA, 480 feet. Talk, Sierra 6 Romeo Charlie, procedure turn inbound. And toggle, I'll confirm my enunciators. Altitude hold, 3,700, VPath armed, suspend is not applicable. Now as we jump ahead, I'm now approaching ACRAT. Remember, the active waypoint is hold. VNAV doesn't work with an active waypoint of hold. Doesn't work on course reversals. So here, I have to wait till CAMET becomes my active waypoint. When it does, my vertical track is alive. I've already got my altitude set to 480 feet. And now I start to run my 4P process. The altitude at CAMET, 2,900. My altitude in the flight plan, 2,900 at CAMET. The active waypoint, 2,900 at CAMET. And my time to the top of descent is 30 seconds. Now as I reach the top of descent, I get VPath green, and the airplane vacates 3,700 to make CAMAT at 2,900.